Hey everyone, and welcome to IG8Live Esports. We're live right now with SNS Esports F1 League Tier 1 for round, I think it's 7 of 22 for the Spanish Grand Prix. Getting started with qualifying 1 here right now, and we should start to see some cars get out on track very soon. So far we have 17 drivers on the grid and ready to go here, so I think some cars are already starting to get out on track. In the meanwhile, we get some stats up on screen so we can see what exactly is going to be happening on track as well. So qualifying 1, we know everyone most likely will probably try to work with the soft tires for the session. Might try to put it on maybe a little bit with the medium just to have a go at it and see how it goes. So 18 minutes for qualifying 1. They have enough time to work with throughout the session and see how everything goes. We got Hayden getting out first on track here right now. For the Spanish Grand Prix, always quite an interesting race, especially with the opening lap happening. Have a bit of a rundown into turn 1, and it's going to be interesting to see how that's going to work out. It's going to give drivers a bit of a, I guess, a bit of an edge getting down there if they do have the straight line speed. Of course, the braking zone is going to be quite important, especially if it's going to be a wet race start or not. I'm not sure about that as yet, what that's going to be in terms of it. But let's see how it's going to work out. But so far, let's see. We got quite a few cars getting out more on track, and I think more will be coming out in just a bit. We do have a bit of a longer session for Q1, so drivers might wait a few minutes before getting out just to avoid having a busy track to deal with. So let's see how that's going to work, and we should definitely start to see some very interesting lap times come across from these guys very soon. Just everyone currently on their out laps and getting around the track, getting a bit of a feel. I'm quite sure they had a bit of practice earlier on today just for the session itself. As usual for every single week, the guys do tend to get some practice in and probably do a bit of a 25% race or maybe some 5-lap races around the track as well, just to get a feel for it on the day of the race itself. And we got Hayden getting started on his hot lap here right now. We're going to stay on board with him in the Mercedes, and let's see how his lap is currently going, using as much of the track there as he can, getting around turn 1 and 2. And seems to be going pretty well so far. Everything's going to be proper for him, of course, being the first car to be setting a lap time. And we should have a few more drivers coming behind him as well, trying to get their time in. And yeah, you're braking just a little bit too much there, but should be getting a pretty good lap as well, but still does have enough time to get it done in this session. Remember guys, qualifying 1 usually lasts about 18 minutes, qualifying 2 15 minutes, and qualifying 3 we're down to just about 12 minutes. So the qualifying sessions do get shorter as we go on down. Of course, we're working with less drivers as well, so the drivers have to make sure they're able to progress on through over to the next session. But they're out of the session. I think there's been some qualifying bans probably for some of the drivers. I'm not sure, so I didn't really have a look at that, but will probably be why some drivers might not be in the session. But we'll see how that's going to work out with how we get on with either way. So let's see what lap times are going to start to look like here right now, because we got Hayden about to get around the final turn here, and he looks like he gets the lap pretty well. Let's see how what's the lap time looks like. A 1:16.6 doesn't seem too bad so far, but we're gonna see how well that compares to all of the other drivers who are gonna be coming across the grid there. We got Santi there with a 1:16.4, 2/10 faster. Not too bad with the time so far, so he's doing pretty well with that. And let's see who else is coming around. I know DW is on a lap here. I think he is the next driver to come around. DW405 coming around right now, getting across the line in a McLaren, and let's see where he goes. He goes third fastest so far, 1:18.026. Not overly a bad time, but he's gonna have enough time to improve upon it to get a better time in. I think Jay Hartman might be on a lap as well. I think we do have someone in front of him. Let's see who gets across in front. Okay, so Liverpool is behind of him coming around. Chris there is, I think he might be coming across the line here. Right, let's have a look. Yep, he is. Chris coming across the line, and let's see where he goes in the AlphaTauri. Goes fastest in the session, 1:16.020 so far, 4/10 faster than what Santi did there. So quite an impressive time from him. So far we're looking pretty good here in the start of qualifying 1. We still got over 13 and a half, just over 13 minutes left in the session, and it's been going pretty well. Let's see where Jay went. 1:17.1, not too bad. Liverpool goes third fastest, 1:16.5, and I think those times are going to hold off pretty well. We got Octavian Racer getting his hot lap started here right now in the Red Bull, so let's see how that lap is going to go. I think we got 2 more drivers getting out on track right now just to get a hot lap started, so we're going to be seeing some times from them. We got Big Balls there and F1 parallel there. Let's see what their time is going to look like as well. It's going to be interesting to see at the end of qualifying one at least how competitive this grid is about to be, because we're looking pretty good so far with those 116s that I'm seeing there. We still got J and DW in the 117, 118. We do expect those times to come in as well, and group of drivers will be in that particular zone, so we'll see how it works out by the time we get to the end of Q1. But so far looking pretty well. It's a pretty competitive grid from the past few races we've done on the Sundays with SNS Esports. It's been quite an interesting race going through the season as well. So we do expect a competitive race coming off, and that is currently a purple sector 2 coming off of Octavian Racer there. So let's see where the final lap time is going to stand, if it's going to get into the top 3 here or not, because I'm not sure what the sector 1 time was like for Octavian. There might have been an impressive lap time through that sector as well. I'm not sure, but he's going to, let's see, getting across the line here right now, and let's see how fast that's going to go. That's fastest in the session. So 1:59 there for Octavian Racer, not too bad with the time. Goes about 10th faster than Sprays there in second. It's going down. I think Big Boss just doing a purple sector 1. And F1 parallel here in sector 3 right now, about to finish off the lap. So let's see what that lap is going to look like as gets across here. Around the final turn, and doesn't invalidate the lap, so doing pretty well so far and avoiding those kind of situations. We got a 1:15.5, 4 tenths faster than Octavian Racer here, coming off of F1 parallel, so no, not too bad at the time so far. We got Big Boss coming around, and looks like he's slowing down pretty much. From the looks of those front tires, he's gone off track a bit, made a bit of a mistake, a bit of an error there, and he's going to have to try that lap once again. But still, so far we're looking pretty good in terms of our grid there. So F1 parallel is currently fastest time in the session there, 1:15.5. Octavian Racer second fastest, 1:15.9. Then we got Sprays going to the 1:16.020. Santi there fourth, 1:16.4. Liverpool fifth to the 1:16.5. Hayden sixth to the 1:16.6. J Hartnell seventh, 1:17.1. And DW 405 at 1:18 for 8 so far on the grid. Quite impressive. And so let's see what's happening with everyone else. We got Rizzle and Sadistic on outlaps here right now. I think Sadistic about to get started on his hot lap. We can have a look at him getting at least through halfway through the lap before we switch on over to Rizzle and see where he's going to be. And he's currently in sector 2 on his outlap still, so still a bit of way to go for him there. And keep an eye on Sadistic here and see how this lap is going to go. He's driving in the Alfa Romeo, hopefully getting a pretty good lap. Still about just over half of the grid or so to go for in terms of getting some more lap times in. So far in the session we're looking pretty good though. That was a purple sector 1 off Sadistic there, so he's looking pretty good so far, I would say. But still we got sector 2 and sector 3 to get through the track. It does need to get a pretty good time on both sectors before actually putting himself maybe into the top 5 or into the top 3 so far for the session. We got just under 10 minutes left here in qualifying 1. Still a lot of time to work through with the session, so still a lot of time for drivers to get out and try to get faster time in if they need to. Alright, so he's going through sector 3 here right now. I don't think it was a purple sector 2, but let's see how sector 3 is going to go. Could still get within the top 5 or top 3 with a lap time here. In the meanwhile, guys, welcome to everyone who's currently joining on the stream here with us this evening from wherever you're joining us. Welcome on, and please make sure you guys do leave a like on this stream for us. Really do appreciate when you guys do that. It does help us out a lot as well. And that is Sadistic currently going 8th fastest right now as Big Boss takes away fastest lap there and holds on to that one there. 1:15.5 for him, 1:15.555 actually, so 200ths of a second faster than F1 parallel so far. And Sadistic currently down to 8 at 1:16.7. Let's go on down. We got I see TTV Dixon has joined onto the session here, so quite interesting to have him on. And that is Rizzle invalidating his current lap there. We'll have to get that lap started again. Dixon here might be on a hot lap. Let's have a look here right now if he's on a fast lap or not, or is he's gonna get one started here right now. And we got Mean Man Moody on chat there. Hey man, how you doing? Good to have you on the chat. And let's have a look. Dixon's gonna get started with another lap here. I think his first lap might have not gone so well. He's just giving his best to the drivers there in chat, so let's see what's going to happen here. So Dixon usually gets a pretty good lap time in by the time we get to our end of qualifying session. Let's see where he's going to stand at the end here of Q1. Still got 8 minutes to get through the session, so good to have him joining on now. Up to 18 drivers on the grid. Should be quite an interesting race. So far, purple sector 1 from the Mercedes there. Let's see how the rest of the lap is going to go. Rizzle should be getting started with another hot lap there already. We got Andy on a hot lap. We got Nightshot on a hot lap. BX37 Pro on an out lap right now. We got Softar in the pits. Killer J in the pits there as well. So we're starting to get somewhere with this session here right now. We got a few 115s, 116s, a 117 and a 118 on the grid so far in terms of the leaderboard with the lap times that we've got in the session. It's been quite interesting so far here in Q1. Still do have Q2 and Q3 to get on through with here. We'll see how that's going to go. Hayden out of the session, and he did a 116.6 and didn't make it back to the pit, so that time is not going to really stand there for him. Alright, that is Dixon going across the line. Third fastest in the session, a 115.6. Not too bad so far. We got Rizzle here coming in through sector 3 right now in the house. Let's see where he goes on the grid. Hopefully getting a good time in for his sake and hopefully avoiding an invalidated lap once again. Let's see how he gets on through. I think he's really trying to avoid invalidating that lap there through sector 3, and that's 10 fastest for him, a 116.9. We do only usually need the top 15 going over to qualifying 3, so let's see how that's going to work. We got BX37 Pro, usually a pretty fast guy, and he's done a purple sector 2 so far, so let's see how sector 3 is going to go. He's driving in the Williams here. Just needs to get a pretty good time in sector 3 and possibly can get it maybe into the top 3 there. F1 Perel out of this session already there, so probably retired off of it. I'm not sure if he retired or I just got knocked off of the session somehow with the car. But a 115.5 for him, that should hold up pretty well and take him over to qualifying 2. That's BX37 Pro going 8 fastest in the session at 116.5. Not too bad of a time. Hayden out, Killer J out, and Ped out of this session since the start coming off. We'll see what's going to happen with the rest of the drivers. I know Softar is still in the pits. And we got a few drivers who are going to try and get some faster times in here. We're going to see how that's going to go for them. But so far, this session has been quite interesting. Got Liverpool on another outlap here right now in the racing point. Got just about 5.5 minutes right now left here in qualifying 1, and it's been quite an interesting session so far, gotta say. Big Boss currently holding the fastest lap there with 115.5, still holds on to that. F1 Perel out of the session so far, holds on second fastest, 115.570, 200 of a second slower than Big Boss here in P1. Dixon third fastest in the session, 115.6. Octavian Racer fourth fastest, 115.9. So top 4 drivers currently into the 115s. That's quite impressive to see even here in qualifying 1. We'll be closing up this session very soon and going straight up to qualifying 2. We're going to see how that's going to go. Of course, qualifying 3 is where it's going to be most interesting in terms of where we should see the fastest possible lap times. Then it looks like it might be a full-on dry qualifying session all the way through and might be a dry race as well. I'm not 100% sure about the race session as yet. We'll see if we can get some information on that as we go on through here, whether it's going to be a dry race or a wet race, or if there's maybe just a little bit of drizzle in the race at any point. Will change the aspect of the race, of course, if that is the case. Softar's still in the pits. I'm not sure if he's going to be getting out or if he does have any sort of ban for qualifying coming off the previous race. So let's see how that's going to work out for him. Well, so far so good with the grid as we have it. Quite competitive. A lot of 115s, 116s mostly. And we got 2 117s so far with Jay Hartnell there and DW405. Unfortunate for Hayden though. He had a 116.6, which would have put him P10 on the grid there, ahead of Sadistic. Would have taken him over to qualifying 2. Unfortunately, he's going to be out of that session there right now. I'm not sure how many drivers will be making it over. The kind of does depend on how much drivers do have to retire after the session as we have it through. Now we're down to just about 3.5 minutes left here in qualifying 1. Most of our drivers retiring off the session. Quite happy with the time as it is. Softar finally on an out lap there. Liverpool on the hot lap getting through and getting across the line. Let's see where he goes. Does he improve his time? And it looks like he does not. He stays with a 116.5 there in P9 so far. We got Sadistic on another out lap. Jay Hartnell as well. I know Softar is on an out lap. Let's have a look at him here right now. Should be getting started on his lap. I was up pretty soon as he gets through sector 3, but let's see where the time is going to be if he's able to get himself up there on the leaderboard to the top 10 maybe, and hopefully gets himself over into qualifying 2. which is the basic aim of this session here right now, just to get ourselves over to that point. Let's see if that's going to work for him. Alright, so we do have most of the drivers retiring off of the session. That is a purple sector 1 so far from Safdar. That's still sector 2 is going to be the one he does get across that portion of the track. Goes a bit wide. Oh, and that's an invalidated lap, unfortunately for Safdar there. Does have 2 minutes 18 seconds left in this session, so we'll have a chance to do another lap on those same set of tires. I don't think he's going to be able to switch tires, so doesn't have enough time to go in the pits and do that and get it back. So he's going to have to just work it with the same set of tires and probably try to just get another lap in, if possible, at this point here right now. Where is Jay Harton on track right now? Trying to get another lap in, and so might be for Sadistic here. Where is he on track? He's getting started on a lap there right now. So let's have a look back at Jay Harton here, getting around on his current lap in the Ferrari. No purple sector so far, but let's see what the lap goes, if he's able to improve from that 1:17.1 that he currently has there. Alright, around the final turn, let's see if he gets across, and does he go faster than 1:17.1? Does improve actually, but doesn't really improve his position at 1:16.9, improved by at least 2/10, I would say, but still quite an improvement on the lap time. Hopefully that does help him get over into qualifying 2. We're going to see how that's going to work out for him. He might be able to do one more lap on those same set of tires if possible here. We got Sadistic here coming around sector 3 now. Let's see if he's able to finish his lap and improve his time from P7. And of course, that's still going to get him over. Oh, and he invalidates the lap, so probably going to go back into the pits. Yeah, and that's going to take him over the qualifying 2 either way, so he does not need to be worried about that. SFC Gas, they're joining on the session as well in the pits. Might not be able to get a time in, as we only have 30 seconds left in the session. Sabdar here on a lap right now, and let's see, he should be able to finish up this lap. 22 seconds left to go. Might even get across the line with a chance of doing one more lap on those set of tires if possible. Let's see if he's going to do that or not, as he goes across the line here right now and goes third fastest in the session at 1:15.6. That's quite an impressive time, 500th of a second faster than Dixon there. So not too bad at all there for Safdar so far in the session as he got that done. So quite interesting to see that happen. SFC Gas will not get to get a time in, unfortunately. That's going to be 19 drivers on the grid for us there though, so going to be quite an interesting race session as well. We're now only one driver short of a full grid, and the clock has run out here on qualifying 1. Do we have anyone still running? We might have nope, I think that's it. I think it's just Savdar's car on track there right now, who's we need to just get off. So hopefully he just goes across the line and not go into the pits, as it does take a little bit more time. Oh, I think that's it there. He's retired off the session. So end of qualifying 1 there, guys. Has been quite an interesting session. Let's have a look at the results before heading on over to Q2. So Big Boss goes fastest in this session here at 1:15.5 for him. F1 Perel goes second fastest at 1:15.570, 200 of a second slower there. Savdar went third fastest just along at the end at 1:15.6 for him. Quite an impressive lap. Dixon was 4th fastest, Octavian Racer 5th fastest, Night Shadow 6, Scrace there was 7, we got Sadistic 8, Santi there was 9th, BX37 Pro 10th, Liverpool 11th, Rizzle was 12th, Andy was 13, Jay Hartnell 14, and that's our 14 drivers who are going over to qualifying 2. We got Hayden is going to start 15, DW will start 16, Killer J will start 17, SFC Gas starts 18, and Ped there will start 19th on the grid. So let's head on over into qualifying 2 and let's see how that session is going to go. Hopefully going to be quite an impressive and interesting session there as well. Okay, so we're into qualifying 2 here right now. 15 minutes just started on the clock. We got 14 drivers in this session. We got Octavian Racer, we got Rizzle, Savdar, F1 Perel, Santi, we got Liverpool, Andy, Night Shadow, Dixon, Big Boss, we got Scrace, BX37, we got Sadistic, and Jay Hartnell. let's see how this session progresses on. To remember, now this session is where these guys will have to focus mostly on race strategy in terms of what sort of tires they're going to be trying to start the race on, whether it's going to be the softs or the mediums or even the hards, depending on what strategy they want to run. And they're going to have to start the race on the set of tires they do the fastest laps on here in qualifying 2, provided they make it on over to qualifying 3. So that will stand. Let's see how that's going to work for them. Once again, welcome to all of you who are joining on the stream with us here. Please make sure that you do leave a like. Really do appreciate when you guys do that. Alright, so let's follow a few drivers out on track. I think Santi was the first driver to get out on track here and get his outlap started. So far so good in the session with him. So let's see where he stands at the end here of Q2. Of course, it's going to be a bit different. We can already see the mix of strategies in play here. Some of these drivers are going to try to do the laps on the soft. Some will try to do it on the mediums. And they will have to get a pretty good time on those mediums as well, of course, to try to make it over into qualifying 2 in order to be able to start the race on those tires that they're actually trying to do it on. So we're going to see how well that's going to go for them. Alright, so he's getting around sector 3 here right now. Should be getting started with this hot lap pretty soon. Just about any second now. And does have a few drivers behind of him there as well, looking to get their hot lap started. So we're going to follow on with Santi here as he gets started here right now. Car 22 on track. And as you know, it's all going to be just purple laps for now, because he will be the first car to set a lap here in qualifying 2. And barely gets that curb there, almost going a bit over the wheels there and almost losing that lap. So quite close in terms of getting that as an invalidated lap, but he still got it through. And he's going to continue with the lap. Let's see how the lap time is going to be though. No, he's doing it on the medium tire, so might not be in a 115, but who knows. Let's see how it's gonna go. We still might be able to see some 116s even on the mediums here, so gonna be quite an interesting session to see how it works out between the softs and the mediums, with drivers having a mix of strategies on those. Alright, so let's see what our lap times are going to start to look like here right now. We got Santi going across the line, and he goes 116.6 on the mediums there. And he goes 116.3 on the softs. Who's coming across next here right now? Let's have a look. And Sofdar has invalidated his lap, so no lap time for him as yet. I know we do have some other drivers coming around. Sadistic might be at the one. Yep, he is. He is the one coming around there. I think F1 Perel is just behind him coming. So let's keep an eye on that there right now. So both of them coming across. Hopefully no invalidated laps for them. Unfortunate for Sofdar, we'll have to try that lap again. So Sadistic goes across the line. Third fastest at 123. We'll have to try to improve on that. And F1 Perel goes 116.089 on the mediums. Quite impressive. Almost into the 115s so far. Let's go down to Dixon here as he's coming across the line here right now. Does he get the lap time in? Yes, he does. A 116.2 on the soft tires. So far not too bad at all there. And Sofdar is getting another lap going here right now already. Getting through to sector 3. Let's see how that lap time is coming along for him. He's going to be getting across the line pretty soon. And we do have a few more drivers who will get out on track. I know Liverpool is on track right now, trying to get an outlap done, trying to get a lap on his hot lap to get a lap time in. Got quite a few more drivers in the pits. We'll get it out pretty soon, hopefully. Oh, and that's messed up lap there for Sofdar. Missed the braking zone on that one, so gonna have to get back into the pits now and try to get back out once again. Night Shadow on a lap here right now. Let's see where he's up to in sector 2, currently on the track. Looks like he's running pretty well so far. Even in the mix of tires, we still have everyone currently on the 116, except for Sadistic there. I think he had a bad lap. He's going to try that lap again and hopefully get a better lap. And I think he's going to make it into the 116s as well with those soft tires. I might even pull off a 115 if he gets this right. But we'll see how that's going to work out for him. So Night Shadow getting around sector 3 here right now. Is definitely trying to get a good time in. Hopefully will. definitely looking forward to see what this race start is going to be like. It's been quite a while since I've done a race around here. I mean, personally race around here myself. That's 5th fastest so far for Night Shadow there. 169 for him on the mediums. Not too bad of a time. Let's go on with Liverpool here right now, getting through. And he messed up the previous lap apparently, so he's going to have to do this once again. Now down to just under 9.5 minutes here left in qualifying 2. Of course, it was a 15-minute session start, 3 minutes less than what qualifying 1 was. So they're going to have to account for that and just hopefully get their time in as fast as they can. Of course, only 14 drivers in the session, so less of a busy track to work with, which is always good to see for them. But let's see what the lap times are going to look. Jay Hartnell on a hot lap there now as well. Just getting started on that. We're going to finish off with Liverpool probably before we do a switch on and see what that's going to be looking like. Andy already getting on another outlap. Octavian Racer on another outlap. They're now wasting the time right now in the session, trying to get a better time in if they can, to head over into qualifying 3, and then we're going to get straight to that race session, which we're all definitely looking forward to see what the race start is going to look like. Do we expect a safety car or a VSC on that race start or not? Because turns 1, 2, and 3 are going to be a bit interesting in terms of cars getting through with their braking zones and pushing on through for a position. Liverpool about to go across the line here and goes 5th fastest in the session at 1:16.7. Not too bad with the time, and that done on the mediums there as well. So let's see what the rest of the grid is going to be looking like. Where is Jay Hartnell on track? And he's invalidated his current lap. Unfortunate for him. So going to have to try that again. Let's go back to Octavian Racer here in the Red Bull, getting started on a hot lap right now. Doing this on the mediums here, of course, as well. And currently no lap time in. So let's see if he's going to be able to get one in here. That's a purple sector 1 off of Octavian Racer there. So not too bad so far. Red Bull driver doing pretty well. That curve he just went across, though. They have to be a bit careful with it. I see most drivers going just a bit wide on it, trying to maximize their lap time on track as much as they can in terms of making it as short as possible, but they do have to use as much of that curve as they can getting through there just to avoid losing a 10th or 2. That's a purple sector 2 right now for Octavian Racer there. So let's see, they're going to get across the line here pretty soon and hopefully a pretty good time in. Sprays there on a hot lap. Jay Hartnell on another lap, I think. Let's see how that's going to go for them. So as we can see, not overly a long lap around the circuit here. 1:16, 1:17, our usual time. And that is second fastest right now for Octavian Racer. 1:16.2 goes there with the mediums as well. So quite impressive on that. We got Chris here about to get across the line. Chris 1, 2, 3 getting across the line here right now. Let's see where he goes. 5th fastest in the session, 1:16.4. Very impressive time. And that being done on the mediums as well. And going back down. We got Rizzle finally on an outlap there. We got Jay Hartnell getting around sector 3. Hopefully will not invalidate this lap here. I want to see a lap time coming off of him, and let's see how impressive that lap time is about to be as he gets across the line. Goes 9 fastest at 1:17.2 from him. Got Rizzle getting started on his hot lap here right now. Let's have a look on how the Haas driver is going to perform on this current lap. Needs to get this car on through over to qualifying 3 at this point here right now. Needs to get a pretty good time and needs a 1:16.6 or better at this point here. Needs to get into the top 10 in order to get on over to qualifying 3. We got just under 6 minutes right now left in qualifying 2, so they have to get a move on this session. Is going to come to an end pretty quickly, and I really don't think they want to be wasting time on tracks with invalidated laps, so they're going to be moving on as fast as they can with that. So just about 4 more drivers left to get their lap times in. We got BX37 Pro on his outlap there right now. Soft down, Big Balls into the pits. They are not currently on track here trying to get a lap in as yet. I know Soft was out there, they have an invalidated lap, so the two of them will have to get up pretty soon and get a lap in. Statistic, they will need to get a better lap than a 1:23, and he's on out lap right now trying to get that done. Rizzle here has invalidated his lap, which is not good at this point in the session. For 5 minutes, about that time is about left in the session here. He needs to get a time in before the entire qualifying is over here for Q2. I think he's going to get another lap started here right now. Let's have a look on how that's going to go. Now let's switch on over to BX37 Pro. Where is he on track? Getting through sector 1 here right now in the Williams. Seems to be flying on this lap. So let's see how that's going to work for him. He did I don't think he didn't have a time in as yet, and he's trying to do this on the soft tires. So trying to get into the top 10 desperately to get on over into qualifying 3. Really needs to just make that over, and that's a purple sector 1 off of BX37 Pro there so far. So far so good on this lap. He's really hoping to try to get that car there, and that's TTV Dixon there going fastest in the session at 1:15.8, and did that on the medium. So quite impressive, doing a 1:15.8 on the mediums here in qualifying 2. Just goes to show how much this guy is pushing on those set of tires there, and that's 2 laps done on them. So if he does get on through, he will get on through with that time over to Q3. We'll have to start the race on the mediums, provided it's a dry race start there, of course. So let's see how that time is going to work for him. We're still waiting for BX37 Pro to get across the line here right now with his lap time. Rizzle on another lap after invalidating his previous lap there. Now 4 minutes left here to finish off qualifying 2. Let's see where BX37 Pro goes as he's about to get across the line. Goes forward fastest at 1:16.3, an impressive lap on the soft tires as well. Will be able to get him over though into the next qualifying session, so not too bad with that. Let's go back over to Rizzle here and see where he is on track right now. And Perella saying the Mercedes is not on his screen. I'm not sure what it means exactly by the Mercedes is not on his screen. If it's not showing on his side of it, I'm not sure. But let's see what's happening. Oh, I think he means Dixon's car is not showing 1:15.8 in terms of lap time on his screen for some reason. I'm not sure why that is. It's showing 1:15.8 here. He does have the fastest lap in, so I'm not sure. Is there some sort of glitch happening with that? Might be happening. I'm not sure what's the situation with that as yet. We're going to see how that's working out. But let's have a look what's happening with the rest of the session. So Rizzle, and Rizzle's out of the session, unfortunately. So that's going to be it for the house driver there. He is going to be starting somewhere down in the midfield there. And there is Adam Dixon there saying he's there. He is there on the leaderboard. Fastest on the session so far. So confirming that Dixon is fastest so far in this session there. And we got Hayden there, his teammate, the next Mercedes driver in the session, who's unfortunately out of qualifying 2 because of not making it back to the pits there in Q1 after getting a 1:16. So he would have been over here as well. Unfortunate, but he is there confirming his teammate is on the board as well. So F1 Pirelli will have to just work with that, because 2 drivers confirming, yep, they are, and we do see them on the screen here as well. I'm not sure what's happening on his end, that he's not seeing that update there. But let's see how we finish up the next on 1 minute 50 seconds we have left here in qualifying 2. We got Big Balls about to get across the line. We'll finally get a lap time in, and let's see, he goes fastest in the session, 1:15.4. And he's now holding on to fastest lap here for qualifying 2. Did it on the mediums as well, so very impressive so far. I gotta say, majority of the drivers doing the qualifying 2 session on the mediums. Some very impressive lap times from them as we have it so far. So gotta say, that's quite interesting to see. I'm very interested to see how qualifying 3 is gonna go, as we're about to get to that very soon. Safdar invalidating his previous lap once again. Will be able to get across the line and try one more time to get a lap in. And Pirelli is still not seeing the updated lap times on his screen. I'm not sure. Big Balls is now fastest in a session. Dixon is now second, and F1 Pirelli is now third in terms of, he's now down 4th, because Liverpool now went second fastest in the session on the soft tires, 1:15.7. Very impressive lap time coming off. So it's P1, P2 so far for the Racing Point here in qualifying 2. They're holding off a quite a good position there. And Octavian Race is saying he's P4. Well, he's now down to P5 due to Liverpool getting up there P2. So a bit of a switch up happening before the end of the session. And Software invalidating that lap once again there. Is Night Shadow on a lap here. I think he's trying to keep himself in the top 10 to go on over to qualifying 3. Well, Perel seems to have quite a different screen from the rest of us here right now, so I'm not sure what's happening. Of course, there's quite a change happening on the grid order in terms of lap times as we're seeing it here right now. Savdar doesn't look like he's going to be able to make a time. Rizzle, no timing, because he wrecked that car pretty well. So let's see how that's going to work out with them. I know Night Shadow is now up to 7th here, 116.3. Got a better time in. Santi now down to the drop zone in P10 there, 116.6. But might be able to hold that in as the rest of the grid down below is out of the session. And Pearl is still showing P3 on his screen. He's now P4, of course. I think it's taking a while to update on the screen for some reason. The last driver finishing at a better time was Liverpool fan. They're going into 2nd on the grid. And Octavian Racer currently 5th as we have it here on my screen. I'm not sure who's having a delay on their end, but let's see what's happening with that by the time we get to the end of the session, which we're at right now. So clock is timer is up on the clock, so let's see what our lap times are going to look like. Liverpool back into the pits, and I think we're just waiting on a few drivers who are still running on track. They just get off the session there, and hopefully we're going to have to just go across the line. I know they're swinging very quickly into the pits, so let's just wait for that to be over there. So maybe a bit of a delay on some of the drivers in, so I'm not sure what's happening with that. And by the way, guys, is it a dry race or a wet race? As you guys are on the chat either way, just let me know if you do know about that. Is it a dry race or a wet race? And once again, welcome to all of you who are joining on the stream. Do make sure you leave a like on it. Do appreciate you guys doing that. And let's see what the lap times are looking like here right now. What our finishing order is going to be here with qualifying 2, as I think we should be getting the final results for that coming up in just under a minute or so. Dry race all the way. Going to be interesting to see that as well. Of course, a little bit of drizzle would have made it a bit interesting, maybe coming down to the end, but let's work with a dry race for this session at least and see how that's going to go. I think we're just waiting on Night Shadow there right now, and I think he's in the pits, probably just getting his car, so we're going to get over. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so we got our top 10 drivers heading on over to qualifying 3, and that's going to be big balls. There's fastest lap 1:15.4. And Liverpool was 2nd fastest at 1:15.7. Dixon 3rd fastest at 1:15.8. F1 Perel 4th fastest 1:16.0. Then we got Octavian Racer 5th fastest at 1:16.2. BX37 Pro 6th fastest at 1:16.3. We got Night Shadow 7th fastest at 1:16.3 as well, about 800 of a second slower. Andy there 8th fastest 1:16.3, 97, 100th of a second slower than Night Shadow. Scraze there 9th 1:16.4, and Santi there 10th at 1:16.6. Rest of the grid will have to start right where they are. We're going to have a look at the entire grid, hopefully through the formation lap. Hopefully we still have that on, so we'll look at that during that point there. We're heading on over into qualifying 3 right now. It's going to be a 12-minute long session, not a very long session. And everyone is going to be definitely working on the soft tires, trying to get the fastest possible time in for that session. And let's see how that's going to go here right now. Okay, so qualifying 3. Time should start just about now. There we go. So 12 minutes getting started on the session here. Let's have a look on how this session is going to go. Going to be very interesting to see what the lap times are going to be looking like. I know everyone's going to be running on these soft tires, so no need to put that on. Let's get go on the session. I think Mercedes is trying to get out. I think that's Dixon trying to get out on track there. Let's have a look here right now. Who's getting out? Yep, definitely he is getting out on track. Might be the first driver out on track. Let's have a look on how that's going to go here. And Pearl is saying he's still not there. Alright, Pearl, we're gonna see where your car is gonna be on the grid by the time we get on over to that. Either way, all of you guys did make it on over to qualifying 3, so I really don't think it's any harm in it. Whatever the heck happened with qualifying times on his screen, I'm not sure, but everyone still made it over. He still made it over to qualifying 3. Wasn't in any way in terms of it being one of them in the drop zone either way, so not our issue that we have to really worry about, at least for this session here. So let's see how this session is going to go either way. So 10 drivers in here in qualifying 3. Looks like F1 Pearl got disconnected from the session there. Might be getting back on just a bit. Alright, let's have a look on this lap timing from Dixon here. Is about to go. He's getting started on it here right now. And F1 Pearl has gotten back on the session once again. We're already down to under just about 10 minutes left here in qualifying 3. The time is going to go away pretty quickly from us. And only 10 drivers in, so we're going to have to work pretty fast in terms of getting their lap times in. They're Formula 1 Esports drivers. They're going to get their times in as fast as possible. No doubt about that. So let's see where it's going to go. Of course, everything's going to be purple off of Dixon here right now with him just trying to set the first time in. We got a few cars coming behind of him. We're going to be setting their lap times as well. I think Octavian Racer on an outlap behind of him there, and Andy on a hot lap. Getting past Octavian Racer there on track as we can see. Then Chris coming just behind of that. Then it's Big Balls there, or Liverpool fan, one of the two of them. Now it's Big Balls coming, because Liverpool fan is still in the pits there at the moment. Behind of that, I think it's Santi coming in the Haas, and well, no other drivers out on track as yet. So I think that's the order as we have it there so far. So let's have a look on how they finish off with their lap times here right now. Yep, I see he is back as well there. No worries, Perel. I think everything will sort itself out by the time we get to the race session. Let's see, Dixon about to get across the line here right now. Goes 1:15.1. Impressive lap time from him. Let's see where the rest of the grid is going to go. Who did I say is coming around next? Andy should be the next driver getting across the line. Let's see where he goes. So Andy Master there goes second fastest, 1:16.5. Grace coming around next here, getting across the line, goes second fastest, now pushes Andy down, 1:15.9 from him. Octavian Racer is getting started on his hot lap there right now. We got, oh, I missed it there. Big Boss getting across the line at 1:15.3, an impressive lap time for him so far. Where is Santi on track? Getting through sector 3 here right now. Let's see what that lap time is going to go when he gets across the line here in just a few seconds time. But quite impressive so far with the final 15s that we do have. And this is Santi going across. Oh, and he invalidates on the final turn, I think there. So unfortunate for Santi. They will have to get another lap going on that and try that. Once again, F1 Perel on an out lap. Octavian Racer on a hot lap. Let's have a look. He's getting around some traffic here as well. And trying to get his lap on. Let's see what that lap time is going to be looking like. So far looks so good. Might be getting on a pretty good lap here. So Santi's going to get another lap going. F1 Perel getting started on his hot lap there. I think behind this should be Santi come across the line. Let's see how that's going to go for him. Timer is going down pretty quickly here. Under 7.5 minutes already left here now in qualifying 3. We're going to get into that race session, which we're trying to get on to watch in just a bit. Already been on the stream for about 51 minutes right now, so that's the amount of time we've been waiting to get the race session started here. That's a 1:15.7 there from Octavian Racer. Puts him in P3 so far. Where's F1 Perel and Santi on track? Oh, and unfortunately, Santi has invalidated this lap. Haas is having a lot of invalidated lap this evening here. Not sure what's happening on the team. There might be an issue with the cars. I'm not sure. But let's see what's going to happen. F1 Perel there in the McLaren coming around sector 3 here right now. Let's see what that lap time is going to look like. But Santi, unfortunately, will have to try another lap with that. He's getting into the pits and we'll get her back pretty soon. BX Red Pro, Night Shadow, and Liverpool are yet to get out here on track. I think they're just trying to have a look at what the rest of the drivers are doing. That's F1 Perella, 1:14.9, 2/10, almost 3/10 faster than what Dixon did. Very impressive lap time from him. Gotta say that's quite impressive. A hell of a lap time to beat as well. So he holds on to provisional pole for the Spanish Grand Prix right now. Dixon currently second. Big Ball's currently third. Octavian Racer currently there fourth. I'm not sure what he's showing on his screen. Screen is there currently fifth. Andy currently sixth. We got Night Shadow on an outlap right now. So we're going to start to see some more lap times come in here very, very soon. So at least half of the grid have their time in. Let's see where the rest of the grid is going to go as they get across lines here. Okay, so let's see what's happening on track at the moment. So Liverpool out on outlap, 9 Shadow about to get started on his hot lap. Dixon on another outlap, trying to get past F1 Perel's time right now, 1:14.9. Definitely wants to improve and be starting on pole here for the Spanish Grand Prix. Let's see what's going to happen with Night Shadow on his hot lap here right now. Drivers are going to come behind him getting started on their lap as well. But let's keep an eye on Dixon. I think Dixon's about to get started on his lap there as well. Yep, he did. So we're going to keep an eye on Dixon as he goes on his lap. I'm quite curious, Dixon, is TTV an abbreviation for a league he's in? I think he's still in the chat, but he's driving in the moment. But when he finishes, hopefully he's gonna hear me and answer that question. Is TTV a league? I would be quite interested to know if it's a league and what league that is, because I've noticed that on at least 2 or 3 drivers from different leagues I've dealt with. An Octavian racer saying F1 Perel is not that fast. I'm not sure where the conversation is going right now. Going over to Twitch now. We'll see what's happening on that news. Alright, so Night Shadow coming across the line here right now. Let's see how fast he's about to go. And let's see, he gets across the line and goes 6 fastest, 1:16.1 so far for him. Who's next across the line here? Oh, and Liverpool is doing purple sector 2. Dixon getting the fastest lap right now, taking away provisional pole back from F1 Perel at 1:14.8, a 10th faster. Quite impressive with 3.5 minutes left in the session. I think it's going to get quite interesting and as we get along here. Oh, it means Twitch TV. Oh, now I get what they're talking about. Now I get what they're talking about. Alright, so let's see what's happening here. So Liverpool goes 1:15.9 so far. Who else is currently on a lap? Santi here on a lap getting at the end of this. So as we have it just under 3 minutes left here in qualifying 3. Dixon currently fastest in the session. That's provisional pole for him as he can hold on to it for now. 1:14.8. F1 Perel second fastest, 1:14.9, and he's an outlap. He's going to try to beat that time once again. We're going to have to see how that's going to go. Santi fifth fastest so far, 1:15.8 from him. Let's see, when he gets started with that, we're going to see how that's going to go. We got Scrace, probably going to try another lap. No, he's not going to try another lap here. And he should be trying another lap. Let's have a look at him. But so far, gotta say, quite impressive with the lap times we're seeing there from Dixon and Perel. Both into the 1:14s. We're going to have a look at F1 Perel in just a bit to see where he's going to go with this current lap that he's going to get started with very, very soon. And here we're getting across and does do faster. It does go about 3/10 faster, so it doesn't improve his position, unfortunately. Let's go on with F1 Perel here right now. I'm going to stay on the overhead cam probably and have a look on how this current lap is going to go. So getting started on another hot lap here right now. Did a 1:14.9, was on provisional pole, lost that to Dixon there, who's gonna start on pole if he doesn't get a faster time in. Needs to go at least 2/10 faster than his current time, or maybe even faster than that to make sure Dixon doesn't get a faster time in. But Dixon's not coming back on track as it seems. He's still in the pits there. Actually, he's now getting in the pits, so he wasn't having enough time to actually get another lap in. So this might be F1 Perel's final chance of getting himself on provisional pole for the Spanish Grand Prix. And let's see how that's going to go. That's quite interesting to see what's going to happen here. Coming this close down to the end of the session, we got Big Boss and Octavian Racer on outlaps here as well. So they're definitely trying to get a faster time in. I haven't noticed if we have any purple sectors off of this lap here so far for Perel. Oh, there we go, purple sector 2. And getting into a bit of traffic. Oh, and someone getting in his way, not getting out of the way, or either way. I think that was Andy there, so unfortunate that's going to be his lap there. And F1 Perel gets a 5-place grid penalty because of that collision with Andy in front of him. That might be a reported incident there. I'm not sure if Andy was on a hot lap or not, but with a faster car coming through. I think he might have supposed to have allowed that car to go on through. So this is not going to go down too well between F1 Perel and Andy in terms of the report room with the stewards. I'm quite interested to see how that is going to go, and he's going to be a bit frustrated with that 5-place grid penalty as well. That was going to be second place starting for him there. It looks like he's going to be starting down there in 7th now because of that issue there. So let's see how that's going to work out. And apparently the wheel gave away, which is what ended up causing all of that to happen. Yep, he's sorry about that. He did admit that was an error on his end. The wheel actually caused that to happen. That's unfortunate for Perel though. He's going to have to take that 5-place grid penalty for the start of the race there. I think that's going to be it for qualifying 3 here right now. Let's see what's changed so far. Big Balls up in the P3, 115.3. Octavian racer down to 4th, 115.7. BX37 Pro, no lap time for him in this session, unfortunately. Let's have a look at the final results. We're just waiting for everyone to get out of the session, so we're going to get straight on over to the race start. But quite a bit of chaos there at the end of qualifying 3 for F1 Perel. Okay, guys, so results as we have it here for the start of the Spanish Grand Prix. We got Dixon in qualifying 3 on provisional pole here. Looks like he's going to start there. F1 Perel qualifying 2nd, but with a 5-place grid penalty, is going to be starting down here 7th. So Big Boss currently qualified 3rd. Will start in 2nd because of F1 Perel's. We're going to have a look at that change up. Octavian Racer 4th, Santi 5th, Scrace there 6th. Liverpool 7, Nine Shadow 8, Andy there 9th, BX37 Pro 10th. So that's going to be a bit of a change up in the order there because of F1 Perel going down 5 places on the grid order. That's going to happen by the time we get on over to the formation lap here in the race session here right now, which we're about to get on to. So some very impressive laps there in qualifying 3. Let's see how good this race start is about to go, because it's going to be quite interesting, at least with the top 10 cars getting on through that. Unfortunate for Perel, but let's see if he's going to be able to make this up on the start of the race. And I think that might result in a ban maybe from Andy there for the next race session. Might be a qualifying ban, I'm not sure how severe of a penalty he will get when that report is made. He did take responsibility for that either way, so let's see what's going to happen there. Alright, so we're just waiting for the race session to get on started here right now. So quite an interesting qualifying session so far. Once again, welcome to all of you guys who are joining on the session here with us, especially everyone who's joining on the chat. And good luck to all the drivers, but please guys, do make sure that you do leave a like on the stream. It takes you just a second to do that. So please, thank you very much. And we're going to get on to the race session here right now. Let's have a look. We should be getting started with the formation lap so we can have a look at the entire grid. 19 drivers on the grid. Let's get a few stats up on screen first and have a look. Alright, so there we go. Getting a bit of chaos happening on the formation lap there already. Alright, so we got Dixon starting on pole here. P1 for him. On the mediums as well. You guys can have a look at the tires. We're just going to call out these starting orders we have. So Big Boss starting 2nd on the grid. Then we got Octavian Racer starting 3rd. We got Santi will start 4th. Chris will start 5th. Liverpool will start 6th. F1 Perel will start 7th because of a 5-place grid penalty, having a collision with Andy there, who's starting 9th. And he's taking responsibility for that. Night Shadow will start 8th. BX37 Pro will start 10th. J Hartnell will start 11th. Sadistic will start 12th. Rizzle will have to start 13th. Softdog will start 14th. Hayden starts 15th. DW starts 16th. Killer J starts 17th. Pet there starts 18th. And SFC Gas will have to start 19th on the grid as we have it there. Okay, so let's see how that's going to go off with the race session itself. It's going to be a 33 lap race. Of course, we know what the lap time looks like around here. For qualifying times is about 1:16 seconds. 1:15 seconds for the fastest time. 17:18 for the slower times. And I think that's what race pace time should be around. Maybe around 1:18 or so. We're going to see how that's going to work out as we get started with the race. Of course, we know that leaderboard glitch is still happening here on the F1 2020 game. So we're going to have to just ignore that if it does happen. We're going to leave this on position change for the opening lap of the race, so you guys can have a look at what position changes happen as they get on through the opening lap. Of course, if the leaderboard does get mixed up, that's going to be a bit harder to deal with as well. We'll see how that's going to go. But either way, just leave that for now and let's see what's going to happen here. So, waiting for the grid order to just get sorted back on the grid again, which are getting on the final turn here right now to get back into their grid slots, and we should be getting started with this race any moment right about now. So just wait more, maybe about another 20 seconds or so for everyone to get sorted back onto the grid, and then we should have all 19 drivers ready to go here. Well guys, we're just about ready to go here right now, so we're going to keep an eye on Big Balls and TTV Dixon here. Let's have a look on how this is going to go. That is 5 lights, and they're just about ready, and they're gone. Let's see who's getting a better start here right now. Looks like Dixon gets a pretty good run. Oh, and Octavian Racer gets up in the second pretty easily, gets a pretty good start. I'm not sure, did he jump the start? But I don't think he did. So far, so good as we got everyone going through turn 1. Out in front, Dixon and Octavian Racer fighting it for the lead of the race. A pretty close gap between the two of them. And we got a Haas and McLaren down on the side of the track. And that is Sandy out of the race. And I think that was the McLaren of F1 Pirelli involved in that incident. That's going to be a full safety car so far for that. F1 Pirelli all the way down to 14th on the grid right now after having a 5-place grid penalty on the start of the race here in Q3. Not his fault on that one, but I'm not sure whose fault that's going to be on this one here with that incident involving between him and Santi. That's quite a bad start there for them, but he does get a penalty as well. We can see the position changes that happen here. Let's have a look at the penalty. What penalty did he get? He had a 5-second penalty for that. So I'm going to go back over to just tires here for now. Let's have a look at the grid as it is. So, unfortunate, before end of lap 1, we've already lost one driver there. Unfortunate for Santi, he's out of this race. I'm not sure who was at fault for that one. I don't think we really caught that full on in the stream itself. That was a bit down at the back. But we'll probably have to have a look back at the stream at the end to have a look, see if we can see what exactly happened down at the back there between the two of them. But it was quite a chaotic incident with that. And I'm not sure if you have any other cars taking damage on that race start there. We're going to see if you're going to have any pit stops happening on the opening lap. And we do have pit stops happening. I know one of the racing points, that's Liverpool, is going into the pits there right now. And he's probably going to get out those soft tires. Probably going to go down to maybe the mediums or hards. We're going to see what the pit stop strategy is going to be like. Because most of them on the mediums will be running for a one-stop strategy in this race as it is here. Doing a medium to hard strategy to go to the end. And the leaderboard is a bit mixed up right now, guys. So just ignore that for now. So as we're under the safety car now going, leaderboard is mixed up, we're just going to have to ignore that for the time being. It looks like Octavian Racer is the one currently leading this race with TTV Dixon running in second behind the safety car as it is. So we're just going to follow with that for now. But Octavian Racer got a pretty good start from the starting grid there. Yep, so Octavian Racer got an extremely good start getting past and getting up into second place, then getting ahead of Dixon through the fourth sector of the track. The two of them were fighting it off for that, so not too bad with the start. Dixon down to second there right now. Leaderboard is still a bit mixed up. F1 Pirelli is not in the lead right now, guys, so let's just ignore that for the time being until that gets sorted back through. But yep, quite an interesting start so far. So let's see how the rest of the race is going to go. As we was talking about the race strategy, those on the softs will have to run a 3-stop strategy, a 2-stop strategy, sorry, with that. And most of them on the mediums will be doing probably as a 1-stop or maybe a 2-stop if they do have to change front wings if they take any damage throughout the race as they have it there. And unfortunately though, Santi out of the race on the start, and I think our leaderboard is back fixed again as we're about to enter into lap 3 of the Spanish Grand Prix. Still under the safety car, unfortunately. We should have the safety car going at the end of lap 3. Don't get back to the racing on lap 4. That's going to give us about 29 to 30 laps of racing to work with. That is, of course, provided we do not have another safety car or VSC in the race, which might be very unlikely. It's a Spanish Grand Prix, and it's going to be some very competitive drivers fighting it on through in the session here. We're going to see how it goes. But so far, so good throughout the entire session. Not overly bad with the race start, just a bit of an incident with that. Well, of course, that is expected to happen with race sessions such as these. So let's see how the rest of the race progresses on through. Night Shadow there in the middle of the grid, P4 so far on the soft tires as he has it, and he's currently the only driver on softs. Everyone else who was on soft probably switch on over to hards or mediums. Yep, they did. And let's see what that strategy is going to work for him, because he's going to have to pull off a 2-stop strategy with that. There's absolutely no way he's going to be doing a 1-stop strategy, because you would think he might want to do soft to hard, but it's going to be a pretty long race to run that through. So I really don't think that's going to work out too well for him. Now, we got Octavian Racer and Dixon pretty close to each other right now, going through Sector 2, and we should have the safety car going at the end of this lap. We're going to wait for that from that notification from race control, which should be coming at the end of Sector 2 here right now, which we're about to approach, getting up to the line in just about there. There we have it. So safety car is going to be in on this lap. We're about to get back racing here right now. What is Octavian Racer doing getting off track there? Hopefully he didn't take any damage on that Red Bull. He's currently leading this race after starting, I think, from about 3rd or 4th on the grid, I think he was, and getting ahead of Dixon. Not an easy move there, but he got that done. Dixon's going to have to work pretty hard of getting past him back, and hopefully the safety car slowed the race down enough for him to try and keep a close enough gap to him. And let's see how the restart is about to go. DRS will be online pretty soon as well, as we're about to go into lap 4 by the time we get this race started. So we're going to see how that DRS advantage is going to help cars as they get on through that. We're going to put on the telemetry there, so you guys will be able to have a look at that there as well. Of course, everyone's going to have the ERS back up to 100%, and we're back on racing again. They're going to use that as much as they can as we go on down the run to turn 1. Night Shadow having a pretty good run on Big Boss getting down there, and let's see who's going to get that through, because I don't think he's going to get an overtake done as yet, but having a pretty good run, keeping behind him as close as he can, trying to fight it off through for a podium position right now on the soft tires, trying to use that to his advantage if he can there right now. 6 tenths between Octavian Racer and Dixon for the lead of the race, and they're keeping that a bit constant as they get on through. The restart has gone pretty well so far after that safety car went in. Gap is starting to go up by 2 tenths now so far between Night Shadow and Big Boss there for P3, and they're still going to fight it on through for that. So let's see if that's going to work out in front. Still about a 6 or 7 tenths between Octavian Racer and Dixon for the lead, and they're still fighting it through for that. We still can have a look at them as we follow on through with Big Boss and Night Shadow here. Scrace there about a second behind of this battle, and he's going to fight on through to come as well. Sadistic having a bit of pressure felt from him, coming with Killer J just behind, about 3 tenths behind there right now. So it needs to be a bit careful with that. Out in front, Dixon is getting a much closer gap here right now. If you can have a look, he's getting a pretty good run on Octavian Racer. Might be even getting a better run down the pit straight, which we're about to get on through very much soon. Let's see what that's going to go. He's right up to the rear of that Red Bull right now, so he's looking to get back the lead of the Spanish Grand Prix. Doesn't want to stay there in second, and he's going to have a pretty good run getting on down. Has the fastest lap as well as he gets alongside Octavian Racer and gets by up back into the lead of the race. Octavian Racer down to second now, and he's running just a little behind the rear there of Dixon's car. Let's see if he's going to be able to get a good run and probably get him back, but doesn't look like he might. So was able to lead the race for a few laps under the safety car, but unfortunate for him, Dixon has taken back that lead and is going to be trying to build a gap as much as he can here right now. The gap is already back up to 7 tenths between the two of them. We got Big Boss coming out 4 tenths behind Octavian Racer right now. He's going to have to be a bit more worried about that racing point coming behind of him instead of the Mercedes in front. Let's see what's going to happen here, because I'm keeping a close eye on this one. We got Rizzle down in the back here. Looks like he's trying to get past Hayden there for 9th place in the race. Gap has gone away for just a bit, so let's see if he's going to be able to get that back or not. Trying to keep up with the Mercedes as much as he can here right now. Sofdar and Statistics seem to have switched positions here. Trying to have a look what's happening down in the midfield there. A pretty close gap between Statistics, Sofdar, and Killer J. And Hayden as well as Bristol. A bit of a train of them following on through. F1 Perel there in 13th. Liverpool trying to catch up to him. He's within a second of him, so within that DRS range. Out in front, we can notice that Dixon has a pretty good gap going, 1.5 seconds almost, I would say, against Octavian Racer there, and DRS is now online, so that's going to help out a lot. Let's have a look at Big Boss here. A pretty close gap between him and Octavian Racer. He's at about 2 or 3 tenths behind, and he's definitely trying to get by right now up into second place in this race if he can. I don't think he wants to hold it off here. Night Shadow trying to push himself up in this race as much as he can with those soft tires right now. Of course, those tires are going to give off pretty soon, as you can see him coming behind there, getting on the grass a bit as well, but he's doing pretty well so far. So Big Boss still 3 tenths behind Octavian Racer, and he's trying to get past that Red Bull. I think he might have to just wait for the pit straight to get the DRS advantage and use a bit of overtake as well, as he's going to have DRS advantage through this section of the track here in sector 2 going to sector 3. And that seemed to have helped a bit as he's getting a bit closer right now, keeping the gap under 5 tenths, trying to keep it under 3 tenths if he can. We can see Dan Shadow getting about 5 tenths behind Big Balls as well. And I think this is going to be pretty interesting down the pit straight here right now. Dixon getting the fastest lap in the race. Let's have a look on board right now with Big Balls in the racing point, and he's getting right up to the rear using that slipstream and gets alongside the Red Bull. He's going to get by up into second place. That is Octavian Racer down to third. Let's see if he's able to get the position back. Doesn't look like he might. He's trying to push back forward, trying to keep on the rear of the racing point right now, but losing time already. 4 tenths behind, falling back, and has Night Shadow for company to deal with in just a bit here, because he's about 7 tenths behind right now. So catching up very, very quickly. Also keeping an eye right now on Hayden there in 9th. Him and Killer J having a bit of a close gap still, with Sofdor in front of them, as well as Sadistic still within a second of each other. Octavian Racer still in the DRS range, however, of the racing point. So let's see if that's going to help at any point as he gets around. I think we're going to keep on him, just following on through with this lap and going into lap 8, and see if he's able to get any sort of advantage as they go on down the pit straight. Because I think that's where I think that's the most advantage you do get on track here for the Spanish Grand Prix in terms of going down that pit straight. The DRS and overtake is pretty powerful down that straight, so let's have a look how this is going to work. Seems to have lost a bit of time though, 7 tenths behind, has the DRS advantage, not using the overtake. Let's see if he's able to get it any bit closer. He's currently about 8 tenths behind. He's getting away from Night Shadow a little bit, but not by much. Trying to keep him out of the DRS range. He's about 8 tenths behind the racing point of Big Balls right now, so not working out as well as he thought there. Let's go on down to the back of the grid right now with Liverpool here in 13th on the grid. That is the next racing point. Big Balls' teammate, he has Ped in front of him by about 2 tenths. Trying to get past that Renault right now, so let's see how that's working for him. We still have a battle going on in the midfield there with Jay Hartnell, Hayden, and Killer J as well. All in that. I think Sadistic and Sofdar still quite a close gap between them. I'm going to keep an eye. Oh, and DW is out to the race. That's a safety car for that incident there. What's happened to his car? I'm not sure as yet. And SSC gas seems to be disconnected from his car. I'm trying to have a look. Oh, and he's quite a way around the track, so we might not be able to see what's happened there. We might be seeing a few pit stops happen here. Let's see what's going to happen on this occasion. So second safety car in the race. We're currently on lap 8 of the Spanish Grand Prix right now, and with our second safety car and going through. This might trigger a few pit stops, especially for those on the medium tires here. Let's see if they're going to decide to do a pit stop to go into the hard tires to push all the way to the end of the race from this point. Not sure what the strategy play is going to be, but we might have a few pit stops. Let's have a look on how that's going to work out. And a request to spectate BX37 Pro. Where is he on track right now? Running there in 16th on the grid. Let's see. He's currently on the hards. Has done 5 laps on them so far. So he's done a pit stop early off in this race. And he seems to be disconnecting from his car here at the moment. And with all the pit stops currently happening, BX37 Pro has moved up quite a few positions. He's on a stop already onto the hard, so doesn't need to do another stop right away. Just weaving around to get those tires as warm as he can there, but I think he's still disconnected from that car. Whatever he's showing here right now, he's showing disconnected from his car. Hopefully he's able to get back online, I'm not sure. But he is showing currently disconnected from that car. I think it seems like he's disconnected. I'm not 100% sure what's happening there. But we're going to see what's happening with that in just a bit. See what's happening with F1 Perel out front here. He's running in 9th right now in the race. So quite a few pit stops happening down at the back of the grid there. And let's see what's happening in front. Cars in front are still running out on their current tires and not taking a pit stop as yet. So Dixon currently still leading this race with Big Balls now in 2nd. Octavian Racing now running 3rd. Sadistic running 4th. Sofdar running 5th. Hayden running 6th now. Jay Hartnell 7th. Grace there in 8th. We got F1 Perel in 9th. Not having the best of races here. Liverpool fan in 10th. BX37 Pro now up to 11th. Night Shadow running 12th now after the pit stop. Killer J in 13th. Pet there 14th. Rizzle in 15th. Andy there 16th. SFC Gas 17th. DW and Santi unfortunately both out of the race. I'm not sure who took DW out, if it was a self-inflicted incident or if that was an incident involved with another driver. I'm not 100% sure about that as yet, what exactly happened there, but we'll have a look at it. Hopefully we'll be able to find that out later on in the session. So currently still under the safety car as everyone's getting to BX37. Still does seem to be disconnected from that car. I'm not sure if that is the case there or not. We'll have to see how this goes on through. So I think we're going to follow on behind the safety car as it is. Are we following the safety car right now? Let's have a look. Yep, we are. So Dixon is following behind the safety car currently on lap 10. Hopefully this all ends by the end of lap 11. We'll see how that's going to work out for us here. But has been quite an interesting start to this race so far. Okay, guys, my apologies about that. So let's have back a look at what's happening here on track right now. Alright, so unfortunate, 2 drivers currently out of this race. We're on lap 11 right now of 33. We have the safety car going in or not, I'm not even sure what's happening on track anymore. So we're still under the safety car. Hopefully at the end of lap 11 here we should have that safety car go in and get back racing at this point as it is there. So TTV Dix is still leading behind the safety car. These guys have not been. Let's have a look at starting positions from where they started so far. As we can see, top 3 cars right there where they started this race. The rest of the grid have changed positions quite a bit. And let's have a look at stops so far. So it looks like our top 8 cars in the race have not done a pit stop so far. They're still yet to do their mandatory pit stops. The rest of the grid have done at least 1 pit stop so far and going on through. Penalties as it is, we only have Jay Hart with a 5-second penalty and Killer J with a 3-second penalty so far. That's going to work itself out hopefully for Jay Harton with his 5-second. We'll be able to do that under his pit stop when he does get to that point. So let's keep this on tires and go on through. Of course, the top few cars who have not done their pit stops, they are currently running on either mediums or hard, so they're able to go a bit into the race before actually doing their pit stops here. Once again, guys, welcome to all of you who are joining on the race session here with us. Please make sure that you guys do leave a like on the stream. Really do appreciate when you guys do that. It does help us out a lot as well. And, you know, in terms of YouTube stuff. So thanks a lot for you guys doing that, joining us on. Hopefully you guys leave a like before you do leave the stream. We're going to see who's going to be winning this race. I'm not sure how that's going to go between Dixon, Big Balls, and Octavian Racer there. Of course, Sadistic and Jay Horton now getting up closer behind these guys. Softer as well. As Chris F1 Parallel is running in 8th at the moment. Let's see how much higher he's going to be able to get further down into the race. I think we should be getting back started with this race session here right now, because the safety car is going away, going back into the pits there, and we're about to get back started here. So let's see between Dixon and Big Boss who gets a better start. Big Boss is trying to keep as close as he can to that Mercedes, and he's going off there right now, already getting started back on the race session. So let's see if the Racing Point is able to keep up with him. Of course, Octavian Racer going side by side with Big Boss, going through the pit straight here right now, and looks like Big Boss gets a faster pace going down and gets to hold on to his second place position, and the Red Bull of Octavian Racer has to stay there in third so far going through. Sadistic running 4/10 behind that, though. He's trying to catch as much as he can. F1 Perel is up into 7th on the race there right now, as you see gets got by his Chris there for 7th position on fresher hard tires, so working pretty well for him. Let's have a look what's happening here, because Chris is trying to catch him back if he can. I'm not sure if he'll be able to get by and get back that position though, but a pretty interesting train of cars getting through here in the midfield. And let's have a look on how it's going with them. F1 Perel getting about 7/10 behind Sofdar right now, so trying to get that position up if he can. Out in front we do have Dixon leading the race by 1.1 second, already getting Big Boss out of his DRS range, so that's quite impressive for C so far with him. But following on with F1 Perel, still see what Octavian Racer is up to. He's getting out of the DRS range right now, or Big Balls as well. He's losing that time, and he's trying to get Sadistic out of his DRS range. So quite interesting strategy running out front here right now. Dixon getting the fastest lap at 1:18.9 so far. Sofler under pressure right now from F1 Perel, as he has that slipstream and using all of his overtake that he can. He's going to get alongside that Alfa Romeo and get past up into 6th place. He goes there around turn 1 right now. And I think Sofdar might be trying to get it back, but I don't think he'll be able to. 4/10 behind that car already, as the gap is Chris here, and Liverpool fighting it off for 8th place in the race. I think Liverpool might have gotten past him, so that Racing Point is up to 8th position right now. His teammate there running second, about second behind Dixon, so still fighting for a position on the podium, still 2nd place, so not a bad finishing position for him if he's able to finish the race right there. But back on here with F1 Perel, 9/10 right now, 8/10 now behind. Oh, Jay Hartnell is out of the race, unfortunately. What's happened to his car? Trying to have a look here right now. And there's his car at the side of the track, and that's going to be a 3rd safety car for that incident there. So I'm quite sure that was an incident involving someone else. I'm not sure who was involved with that incident, but unfortunately for him, Hayden down there in 17. That's quite surprising to see right now. So one Mercedes running out to the lead and one running down in the back. Not sure what's happening in Mercedes here today. And another safety car as we have it here right now. Our race leader seems to be going into the pits right now on lap 13. A convenient point in the race for him to be taking a pit stop, as most of the cars behind him are taking pit stops here right now as well. So I think these safety cars worked out pretty well for them, taking their stops. They're going on to the hard tires to go on to the end of the race. It's a one-stop strategy for these guys running out front. So let's see what's going to happen with the track now. It's going to be a bit of a change up. F1 Perel seems to have taken over the lead of the race here right now. Of course, he does have to do another pit stop, because he's 11 laps done on those tires so far. Yeah, guys, as we're saying, F1 Perel has done 11 laps on those hard tires so far. We're on lap 14, so he's going to have to do another pit stop in the race. Sofdar has done 13 laps on his hards. He will have to do another pit stop as well. Night Shadow has done 4 laps on his mediums, will have to do another pit stop. And BX37 Pro, 11 laps on those hards, will have to do another pit stop as well there. We do have Andy and Peter, 4 laps done each on those hard tires. Are they going to be able to pull off another pull a full 23 laps on them? I'm not sure. We'll see what that's going to work for them. But TTV Dixon here running in 7th right now after his pit stop. He's running behind Ped, and he's on fresh hard tires right now. He's going to have a bit more of an advantage over them when they restarted the race happens in just about another 2 laps or so, because they're currently on lap 14. We're going to see how this works out in terms of strategy for the Renaults out in front of him. So it's going to be a bit interesting when we do get back started with this race here. I'm just going to be off for about give it about 40 seconds. I'll be back on the mic once again, guys. Give me a second here. Okay, so we have the safety car is going to go in back on this lap, and we are about to get back racing here, going into lap 16 of this race, and it's a 33 lap race. We have, I think this is our third safety car so far. Unfortunate, but still does happen in a race. So let's see what's going to happen here. And so F1 Perel in P1, Salvador running second, Night Shadow running in third, BX37 running fourth, Andy running fifth, TTD Dixon running sixth right now. Let's see how this restart is about to go. Okay, so we're about to get back started here right now as F1 Perel tries to get a good lead out front. Let's have a look how that's going for us. So Salvador running second, Night Shadow running very close up behind him. BX37 Pro coming just behind that as well, within a second of that. So let's see how close up that's going to be. Night Shadow getting pretty close off with Salvador though for that position. Dixon here and BX37 Pro fighting it off through, and BX37 Pro is still disconnected off of his car, and that car is going off track just a little bit there right now. I don't think he's back. Nope, he's not back on as yet. So he's still disconnected off of the session. I'm not sure if he's able to get back on. We're going to see how that's going. But if he doesn't get back on, that means cars are going to be lapping him and getting past him. He's 13 laps on those hard tires so far. He's going to be running on the AI. So let's see what's going to happen with that there. Andy, they're getting about less than a tenth behind him, trying to get past there right now. Out in front, F1 Perel leading the race by a second against Salvador here right now. So a bit interesting to see what's happening there. 5 tenths behind that, we do have Night Shadow coming there. So he's getting a lead out front. F1 Perel getting a bit of a lead out front right now, and he's going to try to build that lead as much as he can. Dixon running about 3 tenths right now behind Night Shadow in the Williams, and he's trying to get by. Let's see what's going to happen with this situation here right now, because Night Shadow is coming on a lot of pressure. He's running on 6-lap all medium tires. Should have a bit of an advantage over Dixon, but does depend on how much straight speed he has. And he makes a bit of a mistake already, or he just allowed Dixon to just go by. Doesn't want to fight him on it, and because he knows Dixon would have gotten by anyway, getting down that pit straight, and that's him going down there. Andy here chasing after Night Shadow right now, trying to go side by side with him into turn 1, and a bit of contact between the two cars as Night Shadow fights it back, and he's trying to keep P4. Andy still is going to get by apparently and gets up into P4. That is Night Shadow down to P5. Unfortunate, a 10 behind, still a pretty close gap. He could still potentially get this back. Of course, BX37 Pro just behind that situation there as well. So we're trying to see how that is going so far. And Octavian Racer coming there in 7th. He's getting up just behind Night Shadow right now, because BX37 is still disconnected from there and gets a 3-second penalty. Even the AI getting a penalty. I'm not sure, is he still driving? But he's showing disconnected on my end, so I'm not sure what's happening there with BX. Unfortunate if he is disconnected from that car, because he's losing out quite a bit here as Octavian Racer gets up into 6th position in this race. So let's see what's happening. A bit of contact between him and Night Shadow, fighting it out for that position, and Night Shadow loses another position to Sadistic, who gets by because of minor contact between him and Octavian Racer there. So Sadistic is now up into 7th place in the race. Octavian Racer running in 5th. BX37 running here in 6th right now. Let's see how this situation is working itself out. A pretty close gap between a few cars behind here coming as well. We got Space here, Big Boss and Liverpool fan pretty close off together. And getting down to the turn, we can see quite a bit of action happening there. That's Liverpool, I think, trying to get us alongside Space and gets ahead. Takes it on the inside and gets ahead into P9. Space is down to 10th. Sadistic and Big Boss fighting it out for a position here as well. Big Boss up into 7th place in this race right now. Dixon running about 4/10 behind Sofdar. That's going to be going somewhere pretty soon. We're going to see how that's going to work out in front. But quite interesting after the third safety car restart here. There are very close gaps to work with here as well. You can see Dixon has lost a 10th. Let's see if he's going to be gaining that back or not. Following currently on here with Big Boss, Sadistic and Liverpool. Sadistic stuck right now between 2 racing points, and that's really not a good point for him to be in. So let's see where Chris is. He's trying to get past Liverpool right now, and I think he made a bit of a mistake there for a second because he lost a few 10s very, very quickly as you switch on to him. We're going to go back over to Sadistic, and we're actually a Big Boss out in front. He's trying to get past BX37 Pro right now. And that car is still ghosted at the moment. Not sure why it's still ghosted. I would only assume that he's still disconnected off of the session here. Out in front, Dixon getting a 2/10 gap behind Sofdar right now. He's getting a pretty good run down the pit straight, gets alongside him, and he's going to get up into 2nd place in this race. Still side by side as he takes back on the racing line right now. That is Sofdar, unfortunately, down to 3rd. He's still on the podium position, but still, so far for now, 18 laps on those on those hards. We'll have to do a pit stop. Dixon now running back in 2nd place in the race, 2.5 seconds behind F1 Perel. And F1 Perel, we know, has to take another pit stop because of those tires. He's run 16 laps on them so far. We'll have to do a pit stop, maybe not right away, but later on in the session, at least on lap 20 something or somewhere, he's going to have to do another pit stop. I assume he's probably going to push it as probably up to lap 25 or so if he can. 24, 25, and trying to do a pit stop after that, maybe going on to the soft tires and going to the end of the race. We'll see how that's going to work, or that strategy will work for him. So going back down to BX37 Pro right now, still him, and he has about a 4:10 gap behind Big Boss right now. Sadistic coming about a second, 6 behind that. We'll see how that's going to work out. But still disconnected off of the session, unfortunately. Dixon trying to break the gap down out in front. 2.7 seconds the gap is right now. We'll see how that will work out for him. Octavian Racer here though, 4/10 behind. Andy here in P4. Trying to get up to that position if he can. Down in the back, Night Shadow there in 15, fighting it off with the next Renault in the race. Hayden gets a 3-second penalty. He's running there in 12th right now. We had Octavian Racer and Andy going side by side, fighting it through for P4 in this race. Octavian Racer is going to hold on to that P4 there right now. Andy down to P5. He's still trying to get past and get this position up here. He's trying to take it on the inside of the Red Bull right now. Let's see if that's going to work, and doesn't work as Octavian Racer covers it off. And what's happened to Andy down in the back? He's fallen down a bit. Might have been a bit of a mistake, or maybe went off track for just a bit. He's now down to 6th position in the race, 3/10 behind Big Boss in the Racing Point. Let's see if he's able to get that position back or not. And BX getting more penalties there right now. I think he's still disconnected, as you can see. Andy getting up into 6th place in the race. Out in front, Dixon is losing time apparently to F1 Perel in the lead. Even though he's on the fresher tires, he's on fresher tires, 5 laps only on his hards. F1 Perel running 17 laps on his, and the gap is 3 seconds between the two of them. Of course, we know he will have to pit in front, so that's going to put Dixon back into the lead. And probably Octavian Racer back up into 2nd after Sofdar does do his pit stop, because 20 laps done on those tires so far. I think he did his pit stop on the first safety car in the opening lap of the race. We're going to see how that's going to work. Let's go on down here to Big Boss. 3/10, 2/10 now behind Octavian Racer. Still chasing him down for 4th place in this race as it is. and that's probably going to be for second place by the time we get further down to the end of the session after lap 28 or so. So it's going to be fighting for a podium position here and for a better podium position, as we can see. Let's see how it works out between the two of the force guys. Octavian Racer does have a penalty as well. Big Balls in the Racing Point, no penalty for him. We're on lap 21 right now of 33, so going to be a bit interesting to see how this is going to work out with penalties in play now. Got just about 13 laps left to go in this race here right now to finish this off. Let's see what's going to happen. Big Boss trying to get a move done on Octavian Racer. Pretty close gap between the two of them, so I think he might try to push this on through for the run down to the pit straight into turn 1. Let's see how that's going to look, because a bit of DRS advantage definitely will help him out a lot here. It doesn't have a lot of ERS to use, but still, I think the DRS is going to be a big help as he goes down the pit straight. That's how the look on that's going to go here right now. He's trying to keep as close as he can. He's already using the bit of overtake that he has, trying to keep up, trying to get into the slipstream, and he does get it. Goes alongside Octavian Racer, goes by pretty easily up into 4th place in this race right now. Puts Octavian Racer down to 5th. And that was quite an easy overtake done for him, done pretty neatly as well. F1 Pearl still in the lead right now and building that lead against Dixon there. 3.3 seconds it is there right now. I think the cleaner out in front is helping him, and he's running pretty well. 19 laps done on those tires so far. I highly doubt he can push it to the end of the race, but still quite impressive so far, and he's going to be coming back out in a pretty good position after having a 5-place grid penalty from the qualifying 3, and then having a bad start, a bit of an incident with Santi in the opening lap, was it, and then coming on through, still fighting it back up into the lead of this race right now, and he's going to be probably finishing in a pretty good position still, even after taking a pit stop here coming up very soon. So I'm going to see how that's going to work out for him. We're currently following up with Octavian Racer and Andy now. So Big Ball's running back up in P4. Octavian Racer down to 5th now. Rizzle gets a 3-second time penalty down there in 10th. And a bit of a train of cars between Octavian Racer coming down behind him. Andy trying to get past right now. Trying to push it on through, and he might have pushed for a bit of a tight gap there, and he resets the car on track, so I'm not sure if that was allowed or not. I highly doubt it, but that's going to be looked after at the end of the race either way. So Andy has reset that car, is back on track running again. A bit of close contact with him and Octavian Racer, but I do think Octavian Racer had that line, and he did try to push on through on the curb for it, so might have been his fault on that one. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll see how the race stewards deal with that later on at the end of the session. So Octavian Racer continues on through in 5th right now, 2.9 seconds behind Big Balls there. Liverpool running a 2.5 behind that. Another 2/10 is Chris there running just behind the Racing Point of Liverpool. He's going to try to get by if he can. Rizzle coming just about 8/10 behind that. Another 8/10 is Hayden coming behind of that as well. So trying to see how that battle is coming on through between the Racing Point and the AlphaTauri right now. Out in front gap is down to 2.6 seconds as those tires might be starting to wear away from F1 Perel. 21 laps done on them so far. He's not done a pit stop as yet. We're going to see when he does decide to do that pit stop though, because it's getting a bit interesting in this race so far. Is he really going to be pushing those tires all the way to the end? Savdar has done 23 laps on his hard tires so far. F1 Pearl has done 21 laps. As long as Savdar is running this race, we can tell F1 Pearl will be able to continue on. But if those tires of Savdar's car give away, then that's going to be a notice that F1 Pearl is it's going to be time to do a pit stop on his if Savdar's tires do give away right now. I'm not sure how much percentage he's have done on those tires. Probably about 70-80% done on them so far. I'm not even sure. But Dixon getting a penalty there right now. That's going to be a 3-second penalty for him. And going to be a bit interesting to see how he finishes off the race with that as well. Let's see if he's able to... I'm not sure. Let's see what strategy Perel is going to run. I'm not sure what strategy his intentions are right now in terms of running in this race. We're going to see how it works out. We're on the Liverpool right now, chasing after Octavian Racer here for 5th place in this race right now, trying to get up behind his teammate if he can. Has a pretty close gap to the Red Bull, and looks like he might be able to get this done by the end of lap 25, and we're about to enter into lap 25 in just a bit. He might get that down along the pit straight because he's going to have the DRS advantage And Dixon out front gets a fastest lap there in second place in the race so far. 10 laps on those hard tires. He's really hoping that F1 Pearl takes a pit stop and he gets back the lead of this race. Let's see what's going to happen here. Octavian Racer coming under pressure right now from Liverpool in the Racing Point. He's about to lose that position, and that's going to be both Racing Points ahead of him. And a pretty good run. Both of them are getting down the pit straight, and looks like Liverpool gets a faster pace going down that straight and gets by on the inside. He gets the position up, is now behind his teammate by 5.8 seconds is a gap between them. But of course ahead of Octavian Racer, which is where he wanted to be. And Octavian Racer coming under pressure right now from Straits down behind in the AlphaTauri. He's a pretty close gap, but 2 tenths behind right now. And definitely trying to get by. Let's see how that's working out. So Octavian Racer switching around the track. He's trying to block off any current gap that exists. Almost got taken out earlier on by Andy as well, so let's see if he's able to hold up another car from getting by. And we got a virtual safety car right now. Something's happened on track with a Mercedes apparently, and that's Hayden out of the race. What's happened to Hayden's car? Let's see if we can have a look. There's his car at the side of the track. I'm not sure if he might have had contact with someone. That entire suspension on the front is off, and that's a virtual safety car. That's going to be an interesting point. And as I said, F1 Pro did have to do a pit stop, and he's using the virtual safety car to do the pit stop right now. This is going to slow the race down just a bit. I'm giving him just a bit of an advantage here in terms of getting back on track. Let's see where he gets back out, because currently it looks like he might be getting back out second place in the race, as everyone had to slow their speed quite a bit, by at least 40%. At 12. Oh, and Big Balls does get up in the second. So Dixon got back the lead of the race. Big Balls is up in the second place. Let's see where Liverpool comes out. So F1 Pearl is back out in third place in this race, and that virtual safety car has helped him quite a bit here right now. So F1 Pearl looking pretty good for a podium finish here right now. And the VSC is over. Back racing. DRS is back online. So quite an interesting change happening there. That was actually very, very lucky, I would say, for F1 Perel. Getting that VSC at that point and being able to do his pit stop to go into the soft tires to go down to the end of the race. Now he's going to have a 1.3 second gap to Big Balls out in front of him. And I definitely think he might be able to get by with the advantage on those soft tires. So let's see how that strategy is going to work for him here right now. Alright, so he does have a pretty close gap. Getting on the pit straight on lap 27 right now. We got about 6 laps left in this race, and he has a pretty good on Big Balls. And he's going to go alongside and push you through turn 1 and try to get that position up into second place, and does get it. So quite an interesting overtake done there. Soft tires are working very well there for F1 Perel. Up into second place in this race. Softar gets, I think that's fastest lap there. And he's running currently, where is Softar on track right now? He's running 8th position right now. He's done a pit stop as well onto the soft tires. Let's see how that's going to work for him. Now F1 Perel is going to try to catch up to Dixon there. He needs to get within 3 seconds of TTV Dixon to get the race win here right now. And that's going to be his aim. And he might just be able to pull that off with about 6 laps remaining in the race. I think he stands a pretty good chance of actually getting that done. We're going to have the gaps come back on in just a bit just to see where that's at. Let's go down to Octavian Racer here and Rissel, see what's happening here. Side by side, Octavian and Scrace are currently trying to switch positions. And Rissel trying to get in this as well, running just behind. And that is Octavian Racer, I think, getting a penalty there. F1 Perel getting fastest lap in the race so far, a 1:16.7. The gap is about 9.8 seconds now between Dixon and F1 Perel. So he has just about 5.5 laps left in the race to break that gap down to under 3 seconds. And that seems quite possible at this point in the race. So Dixon is going to be under a lot of pressure right now. He needs to find some sort of way to keep his gap over 3 seconds in order to keep the race win at this point here right now. Because I think it's going to come down pretty close between them. Let's see how fast that gap is going to break down either way. Because so far it's looking pretty good for F1 Perel in terms of getting that race win. Actually, let's bring penalties online and have a look at what penalties are like right now. So 3-second penalty for Dixon, 3 seconds for Big Balls. We got Liverpool with 5 seconds. Octavian Racer there with 6 seconds. Rizzle 14 seconds. Sofdar, no penalties. He's going to be moving up a few positions probably at the end of this race. BX37, 9 seconds. Chris there, no penalties for him. And so this King, no penalties for him, as well as Nightshot and SFC Gas there as well. We're going to see how this is going to work out for these guys without penalties, because they might be able to move up quite a few positions from the race start. Let's have a look on who's probably might be getting driver of the day. I'm not sure. That will be voted upon either way, so let's leave that out for now. Gap out front between Dixon and F1 Perel is now down to 8.6 seconds, and that's going down as we speak. Sofdar trying to get past Rizzle here on the pit straight, and we got Octavian Racing just in front of them. So let's see how that's going, because they're going side by side, and right up to the one, a bit of contact between them as Sofdar almost loses the car. He's back down to 7 behind Rizzle, and we'll have to keep it there for now. Rizzle trying to hold on to 6th position to go to the end of the race. Of course, Sofdar on those fresh soft tires, he's going to try and push on through. Side by side, these two go once again here. Rizzle and Sofdar. Sofdar looks like he might be able to get up that position into 6th place, and looks like he might be able to keep his slots back into the racing line, and puts Rizzle down into 7th right now. So that is Sofdar up into 6th. Soft tires are working pretty well for him. He's now 2/10 behind Octavian Racer, and he's going to try to get that position up if he can. And that's going to be him up into 5th if he does get that overtake down. We're going to go on board right now. DRS advantage on his end. And let's see, he does get the position up quite easily. Octavian Racer, I think, might have just let him go by. Didn't want to really fight him through the turn on that one there. So might have just let him get a position because he knows he's on the soft tires. He knows he's going to be faster, get on through, and doesn't want to really waste time with that. So let's let him get on through and get the position up. So Octavian Racer, of course, though, down to 7th on the grid right now. I'm not sure, did he actually allow Sofdar to go by, or was that just a bit of a mistake on his end? Not 100% sure. Might have just tried to keep the car from actually try to avoid losing the car there. So a pretty close gap between Octavian Racer and Rizzle now. He's trying to catch back up to Rizzle there in 6th to see if he's going to get that position up. Has the DRS advantage against Rizzle 6 there, but still not able to get past him. Gets close enough, about 4/10 behind right now. He's going to have to keep that gap going as much as he can, getting through their end of the race. We're on lap 30 of 33 right now for the Spanish Grand Prix. We got Dixon still leading this race, of course, with a 3-second penalty, and F1 Perel gets a penalty as well. Did he get a 3-second penalty? He did, so he needs to get past Dixon in order to take the race win here right now. So F1 Perel might have been a bit of a hurry to get ahead and try to break the gap down to under 3 seconds. Dixon is going to be happy to hear about this one, that F1 Perel does have that 3-second penalty as he does. So he does stand a better chance of getting the race win here right now against Perel, even if Perel gets within 3 seconds of him. So yeah, 7.2 seconds, and it doesn't seem like Perel is breaking the gap down fast enough. We're just about 2.5 laps left in the race right now. It looks like Dixon should be getting that race win either way, and Perel will be getting 2nd on the podium, and looks like Big Balls might be getting 3rd, with his teammate behind them 4th. Well, of course, Sofdar there might be getting up on the podium. I'm not sure. It does depend on how the penalties work out at the end. We'll be bringing back the penalties online by the end of lap 32, so you guys can have a look at that and see how that's going to work out. But Dixon there looks like he's going to be getting that race win either way. We're following on still with Octavian Racer right now, and he's still trying to chase after Rizzle 6 there for a 6th position in the race. Not sure how well that's going to work for him, but the gap is now going over a second. So Rizzle is gaining time on him there right now, as you can see. Because Rizzle is trying to catch up to Sofdar out in front. Of course, Sofdar is about 3.1 seconds ahead, so has a bit of a gap to work with there so far. I think they're lapping SFC Gas there at the moment in the other Red Bull down at 14th. So currently on lap 32 right now, guys, with our racer here, TTV Dixon, at the moment as he gets on through with that lap. And 5.8 seconds behind is F1 Perel, running in 2nd place in this race right now. And with 1.5 laps remaining in the race, I don't think it's enough time for him to get ahead. And even with the soft tires, he's not gaining enough time as it is, unless Dixon makes some sort of significant error out in front. So that's going to be it for that. Big Balls running 3rd, Liverpool there, and then Sofdar, Rizzle. We have Octavian Racer getting within a second once again, having a DRS advantage against Rizzle. He's getting the slipstream a bit. He's getting much closer. He's going to be able to get the overtake though. and he was thinking about pushing for it but not able to. He's going to have one last go at this through lap 33. Let's see if he's going to be able to get it done and get ahead of Rizzle. But it's going to be a tough call at this point here, even being with both of them being on even amount of laps on their tires. They have 17 laps each on their hard tires, so a bit of an even playing field for the two of them. We're going to see how that works out by the end of the race, but we're getting right down to that point here right now, because race leader is about to enter into the final lap here of the Spanish Grand Prix. And he's run a pretty good race, so he's still in the lead, started right there, and he's going to be finishing there hopefully. 5.3 seconds is the gap between him and F1 Perel, and he has just entered into the final lap of the Spanish Grand Prix. And we're still following on with Rizzle and Octavian Racer right now. We're going to switch on to our leaders, AJ Smith. Let's bring penalties online so you guys can have a look at that and see how that's possibly going to work out with drivers there having penalties. And we have Savdar looking to gain one position up here if he does keep his car within 5 seconds of Liverpool, and that's a pretty close one to call there right now, with 4.9 seconds being the gap as it is, and it's going over 5 seconds right now. You need to keep that gap under 5 seconds if he wants to get P4 in this race. Liverpool is going to try to push it as much as he can right now to keep him out of that range. Let's go back out in front with Dixon here leading the race, getting through sector 2 right now. He's had a pretty good race from the start of the race coming to this point, and he's fought his way back out to the lead and ran a good strategy as well. And I think it was quite a close call between him and F1 Perel, but still, even if Perel didn't get a penalty, I think he still would have gotten the win, because the gap as it is there right now, 5.6 seconds. Perel was not able to bring the gap under 3 seconds, but still they got a 3-second penalty, so that has affected this race quite a bit as well. So we get a Mercedes of Dixon coming around the final sector of the track here right now on the final lap, and is about to get around Fountain. He's going to go across the line and take the win for the Spanish Grand Prix here right now. That's CTV Dixon taking that win. Not a bad race from him there. We got F1 Perel coming across the line, second place on the podium there. We got Big Boss is going to come across and take third on the podium. And let's see if this works out, because it looks like Savdar might be taking away fourth place from Liverpool. And Liverpool coming across right now. 4.1 seconds is the gap, and Savdar seems to have done it. He's going to take away fourth place from Liverpool, and that's going to be Liverpool down to fifth. Savdar will be finishing the race there in fourth on the grid. Liverpool fifth. Rizzle coming across right now with Octavian Racer just behind of him, and 14 seconds penalties for Rizzle is going to fall quite a bit down. Octavian Racer taking sixth position. That's Rizzle currently in 7th. BX37 Pro, 12 seconds of penalties. Let's see how that works, that he might be able to actually keep it there, Rizzle. And Chris now takes away 7. Rizzle down to 8. BX takes 9th. And he comes across the line. Looks like he's going to be taking 10th. No, he takes 9th actually. BX goes down to 10th. Sadistic takes 11th. And Pede will take 12th. Night Shadow will take 13th. And SFC Gas will take 14th. Okay, so that is the end there for the Spanish Grand Prix for SNS Esports F1 Tier 1. So let's have a look at the final results before we close off this session there. And driver of the day, according to the game, will go to Savdar on that one. I know the league does still actually vote on that. We're about to get on to our next race session as well, but let's have a look at the results here before we do close off this stream and start the next stream there. Taking a while to load right now. Okay, so there is the results for the Spanish Grand Prix for SNS Esports F1 League Tier 1 here for round 7 of 22. And we got Dixon as our race winner here right now. F1 Perel finishes 2nd on the podium there with the fastest lap in the race as well. Big Boss finishes 3rd on that podium, and a pretty good result for him. Savdar finishes 4th. Liverpool 5th. Octavian Racer gets 6th. We got Squares there 7, Rizzle finishing 8, Andy in 9th, BX37 Pro in 10th. We got Sadistic in 11, Ped there 12, Night Shadow 13, SFC Gas 14, Hayden there going to finish 15th, Killer J 16, J Hartnell 17, DW 18, Santi there 19. And that's how he finishes off either way. But a pretty good race from the guys there. Excellent finish for the podium finishers. So congratulations to them and to Dixon for the race win. Thank you guys for everyone who has joined on to the stream with us. And please guys, make sure you do leave a like on the stream. We're going to end up the stream here right now and then join on a next race session starting in 5 minutes exactly. So join us on for that stream as well. And make sure you guys leave a like on the stream. Thank you guys very much for joining us.